Hey there, truth seekers. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of lie detection, CIA style. I'm here to uncover the secrets that separate fact from fiction. So buckle up, because we're about to learn how to spot a liar like a pro. You know, when I first started researching this topic, I was amazed at how much science and psychology goes into detecting deception. It's not just about catching someone in a fib. It's about understanding human behavior at its core. Who better to learn from than the masters of intelligence gathering themselves? The CIA. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's address the elephant in the room. Why should we care about detecting lies? Well, imagine you're on a first date, and your potential soulmate is spinning tales faster than a DJ at a rave. Or picture yourself in a high-stakes business negotiation where millions of dollars are on the line. Wouldn't you want to know if the person across the table is pulling a fast one? That's where these CIA techniques come in handy. Let's start with the foundation of lie detection, the baseline technique. This is where CIA agents become human lie detectors, and it all begins with careful observation. Think of it as creating a behavioral fingerprint for each person you interact with. Here's how it works. Before you start grilling someone for information, you need to establish their normal, truthful behavior. It's like setting up a control group in a scientific experiment. But instead of lab rats, you're dealing with humans. And trust me, humans can be way more unpredictable. To establish a baseline, CIA agents start with casual conversation. They might ask simple questions like, "How was your day?" Or "What did you have for breakfast?" These questions are typically non-threatening and easy to answer truthfully. While the person is responding, the agent is carefully observing their body language, speech patterns, and facial expressions. For example, let's say you're trying to establish a baseline for your friend Sarah. You notice that when she's relaxed and telling the truth, she maintains steady eye contact, speaks at a moderate pace, and occasionally uses hand gestures to emphasize her points. This becomes Sarah's truth baseline. The key is to pay attention to multiple factors. Is the person fidget when they're comfortable? They have a particular way of phrasing things. They tend to look up and to the left when recalling information. All of these details contribute to their baseline behavior. Now here's where it gets interesting. Once you've established this baseline, any significant deviations from it could be red flags for deception. It's like having a lie detector built into your brain. But remember, establishing a baseline isn't a one-and-done deal. People's behavior can change based on context, so it's important to continually update your observations. Think of it as keeping your lie detection software up to date. Now that we've got our baseline, let's move on to the juicy stuff. The clear signs of lying. This is where those CIA agents really flex their observational muscles. And trust me, it's like watching a real-life game of poker where the stakes are national security. First up, we've got micro-expressions. These are lightning-fast facial expressions that flash across a person's face in a fraction of a second. They're like emotional leaks that even the best liars can't control. For instance, you might see a quick flash of anger or fear before someone puts on a calm facade. It's like catching a glimpse behind the curtain of their true feelings. Next, we've got sudden changes in body language. Remember our friend Sarah from earlier? Let's say you're asking her about a missing cookie from the jar. If she suddenly crosses her arms, leans away from you, or starts fidgeting with her hair when she was previously still, that's a potential red flag. Voice pitch is another giveaway. When people lie, their vocal cords often tense up, causing their voice to go slightly higher. It's like they're hitting a false note in the symphony of conversation. So if Sarah's voice suddenly sounds like she's auditioning for a chipmunk choir, you might want to dig deeper. Speech patterns can also be telling. Liars often use distancing language, like saying that person instead of using names, or they might use fewer first-person pronouns. They might also give overly detailed responses to simple questions, as if they're trying to bury the truth under a mountain of irrelevant information. And let's not forget about eye contact. Contrary to popular belief, liars don't always avoid eye contact. In fact, some might maintain too much eye contact, as if they're trying to stare down the truth. It's all about noticing changes from their baseline behavior. But here's the kicker. None of these signs on their own are definitive proof of lying. It's the combination and context that matter. It's like putting together a puzzle where each piece is a behavior, and the complete picture reveals the truth. Now, Let's move on to the strategic questioning techniques that CIA agents use to expose inconsistencies and errors in a liar's story. This is where things get really interesting, folks. First up, we have the unexpected question technique. Liars often prepare for standard questions, but throw them a curveball and watch them squirm. For example, instead of asking, "Where were you last night?" you might ask, "What color shirt was the bartender wearing?" If they were really there, they might remember. If not, they'll likely hesitate or make something up. Next, we have the reverse order storytelling technique. This is like asking someone to recite the alphabet backwards. It's tough if you haven't practiced. When you ask a liar to tell their story in reverse chronological order, they often struggle because they have to fabricate details on the spot. It's like watching someone try to build a house of cards in a windstorm. Lastly, there's the cognitive overload technique. The idea here is to make the person think so hard about their lies that they eventually slip up. You might ask them to draw a diagram of the events, or to tell their story while performing a simple task like counting backwards from 100 by 7 south. It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle. Eventually, something's gotta give. These techniques work because lying is cognitively demanding. When you're telling the truth, you're just recalling events. But when you're lying, you're creating a whole new reality in your head, and that takes a lot of mental energy. Now, let's talk about the psychological tactics CIA agents use to encourage voluntary confessions. This isn't about forcing information out of people. It's about creating an environment where telling the truth feels like the best option. First up is empathy. By showing understanding and compassion, agents can build rapport with the person they're questioning. It's like creating a safe space for the truth to come out. For example, an agent might say, "I understand why you might have felt pressured to do this. Many people in your situation would have done the same thing." Next, we have moral justification. This involves providing a face-saving reason for the person to admit to their actions. It's like offering them a lifeboat in the sea of lies they've created. An agent might say something like, "I believe you did this to protect your family, not because you're a bad person." Lastly, there's the alternative question method. This involves presenting two options, both of which admit guilt, but one of which is more palatable. For instance, did you take the money because you needed it for something important, or just because you wanted extra cash? This technique makes it easier for someone to confess because they feel like they have some control over the narrative. These tactics work because they tap into basic human psychology. We all want to be understood, to maintain our self-image, and to have some sense of control over our situation. And there you have it, folks. It's the CIA's toolkit for detecting lies and encouraging truth-telling. Remember, these techniques aren't about manipulating people. They're about uncovering the truth in ethical ways. So the next time you're in a situation where the truth seems a bit slippery, remember these techniques. Establish a baseline. Watch for those telltale signs of deception, ask strategic questions, and create an environment where honesty feels like the best policy. But here's a final thought to chew on. While these techniques can be powerful tools, they're not foolproof. Human behavior is complex, and context is key. So use these methods wisely, and always approach situations with an open mind. That's all for today's deep dive into the world of lie detection. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into human behavior and psychology. And hey, leave a comment below about a time when you successfully spotted a lie. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep seeking the truth, and remember, in a world full of deception, a little knowledge can go a long way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.